The headlines are all over the place. Ahsoka has saved Star Wars. Many people feel this way. Let's look and see why. And most importantly, let's look and see if we agree. Hey everybody, welcome back to Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that everybody has been enjoying the Ahsoka series. It is evident that many people have not enjoyed the series, but I gotta say that it is overwhelmingly positive. It seems the majority of the fandom is all behind the series and they're enjoying it quite a bit. You know us here at EBN, we gotta be fully transparent with you guys. I have enjoyed the series, even though I gave episodes 4 and 5 basically a 6 out of 10, which is a lot lower than the average score from around the internet. But that certainly doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the show and that I don't love the character Ahsoka and I don't like what Filoni is doing. It's just that everything's not making sense. But let's get into this news here. There have been complaints, this article here from Cinema Blend, but Ahsoka is great. In fact, Disney Plus's Star Wars shows have been epic. And then we want to look at this article here, and it is from Screen Rant. Star Wars isn't retconning the sequels, but Ahsoka is making them irrelevant. So it begs to question, what is the state of Star Wars right now? Do many fans have hope that it's going to get better and better and better as we move forward? And I actually want to start here with the Cinema Blend article about the complaints, but Ahsoka is great. In fact, Disney Plus's Star Wars shows have been epic. And subtitle, I've really been enjoying the Star Wars TV shows. And the article reads, to be clear, I'm not saying they're perfect. Talking about the shows, many of them could benefit from more practical shoots rather than hanging out at the volume. The CGI de-aging and AI voice replication both need refining. And I know I'm not the only one who is dismayed when the Book of Boba Fett started feeling more like The Mandalorian Season 2.5, but overall, there have been more positives than negatives, and here are the reasons why the Star Wars franchise has a good thing going with these TV shows. Now, I just got to break in here real quick and just say that I disagree with what they say about the Book of Boba Fett. It was when it started feeling like Mandalorian Season 2.5, that's actually when the show got good. But they say here, these shows are keeping Star Wars in the public consciousness, and I can't argue with that. It is keeping Star Wars, as something that is relevant, I guess, something that's being discussed. The only problem there with me is that they're coming out with a lot of things that are marginal or average, or maybe even below average with the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi. And that definitely damages the brand of Star Wars. It definitely puts it, brings it down a few notches where, we hold Star Wars to a higher standard. But I see their point. It does keep Star Wars relevant, and you're creating a lot of content for people like The Mandalorian's 3 seasons, The Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, Andor. We get it. There's a lot to go through, and now you got Ahsoka, you got other shows coming up, and we'll see where it all goes. And then they say here that it's good that they have had longer, more fleshed out storylines. And to that end, I'm not quite sure that I agree with that. If you see it that way, totally respect it. That's good. Many of you will agree with that. But I don't know, about the fleshed out storylines. Like, look at The Mandalorian, for example. And ironically, that's the picture that they show here. Mando was about Mando a lot in season 1. But I was curious, what is the role of Grogu? It wasn't clear. We finally learned it over several episodes that it's not really the show about the Mandalorian. It's a show about their relationship. And then in season 3, they totally diverted away from that entire storyline where Grogu became a side character. And from a certain point of view, Mandalorian, the Din Djarin, became a side character as well. And the show became about Bo-Katan, who is the Mandalorian in season 3. Their next point is there's a variety of Star Wars shows to choose from, and I get that. That is absolutely correct. You are so right there. And with so many shows to choose from, hopefully Star Wars fans of any kind, whether you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, a normie fan, you can find something that you will like and enjoy. It seems to me that most of the normie fans enjoyed Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett, but more hardcore fans who, know and appreciate the lore and the Star Wars that George Lucas gave us, they probably overwhelmingly did not support and enjoy Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett. But to their point, they're absolutely true. There is a variety of shows to choose from. The next point was some of these shows are paving the way for an epic Star Wars movie. And, that is true. there is the Mandoverse. And I think that a lot of Star Wars future hangs, on the success of that movie. Dave Filoni, is he up to task to tie all these loose ends up? You got The Mandalorian, you got the Book of Boba Fett, you've got Skeleton Crew that is forthcoming, and now you got Ahsoka, and all of those shows are going to lead us into his culminating movie. How is that going to go down? What is actually going to be happening? We will see. It's exciting to think about. I hope that he pulls it off, but currently I'm in a state of, I just have to wait and see. And that's where I'm at. A lot of people have already accepted the fact that it's going to be great, and a lot of people have no hope. I would say that I'm kind of neutral in that regard. Looking here at the other article, Star Wars isn't retconning the sequels, but Ahsoka is making them irrelevant. So one of the issues that I have here is that there's nothing that you can do to make the sequels irrelevant if your storyline is in fact leading directly to them. However, if Ahsoka goes to the other galaxy and they're able to sidestep the sequels and give us another story, maybe. It really depends on how you do that. If they gave us some type of soft retcon or alternative story, or as some people have said, making the sequels a what-if scenario. Well, the article here at Screen Rant says that is not going to happen. It's not going to be a what-if. It's not going to be an alternate reality or anything like that. The world between worlds thing isn't happening. But her going to a new galaxy, that they have hope that they're just going to pretty much bypass the direct links to the sequels, and this will bring a lot of fans back, because at least Screen Rant is recognizing that the majority of Star Wars fans are not fans of the sequels. Again, I'm not trying to raid on anybody's parade or pee in your Cheerios. I promise you, if you like the sequels, that is all fine and well. I'm glad that you do. I think they were terrible, but they only got terrible when Rian Johnson's movie came out. I was a fan of The Force Awakens. I was all in. I didn't like everything, but I was all in. And then they destroyed the entire story, and from there, Star Wars was heavily damaged. And it's up to the Disney Plus series to bring it back. And that's basically what we're talking about today. Can the Disney Plus shows that Filoni and Favreau are coming out with bring fans back to the fold and save Star Wars? The articles that we're looking at today say that is what's happened. I am in a state of, I'm still not sure. We're going to find out over time. Ahsoka might give, Star Wars a little bit of life, but what's going to happen when Skeleton Crew and then the Acolyte comes out? Is it going to be further damage? Is it going to continue on and just kind of be, hold the line? Or is it in fact going to get even better? I don't have a lot of hope with Skeleton Crew, and even though I like the premise of the Acolyte and it sounds amazing, and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to be as unbiased as I can. However, I don't have a lot of hope in that show. So I do have hope that Ahsoka will finish strong, and it will be a really, really good series overall after I see the remaining 3 episodes. So I want to know for you, what has to happen in Star Wars for Star Wars to be saved? Many of you are going to comment and say it's already saved. What are you talking about? And I respect that. But so many of us need something specific to happen. Do they have to retcon the sequels to save Star Wars? Or can they just continue to give us good Star Wars on the Disney Plus shows, give us a good Filoni movie, and then do the movie with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy that is far into the future with Rey and whomever else? And you go so far into the future, you're not in the sequel trilogy era, you're after it. And is that going to save Star Wars? For me, I would say no. But do I want Star Wars to be saved? Yes. Is this a hater of all things Star Wars, Disney Star Wars channel? No, it is not. We are just an authentic channel that's going to give you our authentic take on every singular episode, and then our overall thoughts on it as a whole. But our goal here is that we love and enjoy what they're giving us in Star Wars. We're just not there at the moment. As we always say here, we are, you are, Echo Base Network, and we'll see you guys on the next one.